saying that we're connecting the cloud server. Okay, it looks like we're good to go. All right. Oh boy, you guys, we got a lot of people logged in here. So good to see you all. Welcome aboard. We got a great subject tonight. The cool thing is, I mean, you know, I never, it never ceased to amaze me. I never question why things happen anymore. Because I know that if I'm patient enough, usually the answers come to me, and like things make sense in hindsight. So for example, with all this going on with the coronavirus, you know, we're being told to hunker down, you know, stay in our own homes, don't go out, don't associate with other people, social distancing, there's all these new terms coming up. Don't be in groups of 10 or more people, all these things are like, wow, what do we do? Remember, we're investors, we're agents, you know, we're out there supposed to be looking at properties and talking to people and things like that. That's all true, but there are things you can do, okay? So the cool thing is I've been through 4 cycles, okay? And the first one, I was pretty scared. Second one, I was still scared. Third one, I actually wasn't so scared. This was the big recession back in late 2007 through 11. But there were some other extenuating circumstances, you know, divorce, broken back, all this kind of stuff that was like, holy crap. But I got through it, and I got through the other ones too, and you will too. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this as if I'm going through it myself like I did 12 years ago, okay? And I'm going to have you take the action because you're going to get the results, okay? So many of you saw the video that went out today. I recorded that last night. And many of you have already used some of the campaigns that we put in that link, you know, the booklet, the letter, the workshop. For right now, obviously, hold off on the workshop. Don't worry about workshop right now. It's not going to make sense. It's going to freak people out if you try to do a live workshop. So focus on the booklet and letter. Now, that's not all we do here. There's like 30 some odd marketing campaigns, and there's a dozen, 10 plus 2, a dozen marketing campaigns we've got fully documented. We just have to do them on these webinars with you, okay? We've already done some of them, so this is like totally prophetic. This whole exercise started back in the fall. It's recording all these videos on YouTube. If you've been out there, you notice there's probably, my gosh, over 100 videos now, short, little, 3-4 minute videos. Micro focus on specific subjects, very detail oriented, okay? And there's now a checklist with all the different marketing campaigns. We've got the top 12 documented already. I'm going to go over one of those tonight. It's an email marketing campaign you can use right now with your database, okay, your prospects and your clients. Now, before we get into all that, just basic housekeeping. Some of you are new, welcome aboard. Could have picked a better time. All right, and I mean that seriously. I'm not trying to be facetious about this. I'm telling you seriously. You know, if you've been looking for the opportunity to let yourself shine and be the hero, boy, this is it, okay? And I'm gonna give you the tools you need to execute and be that person. So if you're on new, you'll notice by default you're in mute. Okay, that's by design. I do unmute you from time to time, so you're live, we can all hear what you're saying and so forth and so on. This is totally live, unscripted, unfiltered. You're gonna get the good, the bad, the ugly, okay? You get all the good stuff and the entire truth behind everything. Everything that works, doesn't work, you name it. Now, if you're listening to this in recorded mode, obviously it's recorded. But every time you get the recording, guys, the day after one of these live webinars, make sure you look at the email from Beverly. You know, there's changes into the systems, changes to the platforms. Many of you noticed the investor agent modules have been completely redone. We did that actually last year, okay? We just went ahead and implemented it now because it's very necessary now. So you know, I got 10 modules instead of 5. Same material, it's just broken down into finer, smaller segments that makes sense for you, okay? So in any case, let me do this. Let me turn on the chat box for everybody. And if you're alive and well, say hello to everybody. Okay, let me check the attendees and see who we got. Let's see here, we got Adrian, Alyssa, Betty, good to meet you. I mean, good to meet you. Good to see you, Betty. Oh, Betty got an interesting text today, guys. I'm telling you, email your database. You got to email your database. Well, I guess whoever email vendor is slapped her wrist because she sent out so many emails. And that's normal, Betty. That happens. Believe it. When you're an active, busy person, you're going to get those emails. Let's see, Cheryl. Well, we got some veterans in here too. My gosh, let me go back. Sorry, I skipped a few. Chris, Jamie Lou, a couple of Chris's. Let's see, Jennifer, good to see you. Carrie, Kieran, Louie, good to see you, Louie. Hey, Louie, I think we're going to kick off one of the things you and I were talking about a while back. I think we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity here in the environment and actually kick that off. And I want to potentially get you involved if you're interested. So let's do a call. So Louie, I'm driving back to Ontario from Miami Friday and Saturday, okay, with crew in tow. And I'll tell you more if you want to set up a call with me Friday or Saturday. There's nothing's happening right away, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here. So up in Toronto. So Kieran, Louie, Michael or Mary, good to see you, Michael. Matt, good to see you, Matt. Natasha, Shika, good to see you, Shika. Susan, Tanya, Trudy. Oh my gosh, we got a whole slew of people. Willie, brand new, good to see you, Willie. Welcome aboard, man. Vince, good to see you. Welcome aboard. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. Again, look for the email from Beverly. There are recent changes to the systems. We've got some date changes, lots of stuff coming up. You're going to see a lot more of me online in lieu of what's going on out there in the world. So just keep an eye on your emails, video content, written content, scripts. And we're just going to literally just freaking spoon feed you, okay? So in any case, without further ado, couple of things here. Obviously, doing workshops are not a good idea right now. You may want to think about them, prepare for them, because I've got a feeling sometime between, my guess is Easter and the end of April, you know, some of the veils will be lifted in different provinces and states, and we can be back out there. All right. I mean, there's a lot of good news coming in from different parts of the world who are ahead of us on the curve, and as we suspected, the curve is going to turn that corner more quickly than people originally thought. But again, we got to be practical, realistic, and we got to take effective action based on what we know today. So it's fun to think about the future, prepare for the future, but we got to actually prepare and plan and focus on today, right? So right now, workshops in the future. Today, we're going to focus on managing our current clients and prospects on our database. So a couple of things here. Let me go to the checklist I created for tonight's webinar, and give me a second, guys. I'll bring it up and I'll share it with you so you can see it. It's just going to take a moment to get there. All right, so let me blow that up full screen. Go back here, do share. Okay, you should all see on your screen a Word doc that starts off and says email campaign checklist, okay? So if one or two of you wouldn't mind, shoot me a quick chat. Just say, hey, Garrett, I can see it. Everybody's saying hello. Sorry, I missed your chats. Hey, everybody, there's Shika, Louie, Betty. All right, I'm almost done sending my booklet to my database. I'll be done tomorrow. And as well, hey, Betty, I'm not sure. I know that we don't send emails from Command, but there should be another system you're using that Command would interface with, okay? So check it with your office tomorrow. Call and see if the tech person is available. You can ask them that, okay? Let's see, Susan Hayes, good to see you, Susan. And guess where I am? That's right, I'm in the Cadillac Hotel in South Beach. I just ate Bella Napoli's pizza. How about that? We've been having a heck of a time right here. By the way, Susan, we went to the Wildlife Federation Zoo yesterday and got to hang out with the live animals, petting them, holding them, taking pictures, lemus, white tigers. I got a anteater stuck its tongue in my ear. I had that happen. So this is the kind of stuff abundant-minded people do, guys. So just quick ad lib here, quick pause. I know I mentioned in the beginning of the webinar that we want to try to refrain from the scarcity-minded thinking, you know, all that doubt, the fear-based thinking. It's easy to do because all that we're seeing on the news. I get it, and it's all real. I'm not saying it's not real, it's very real. But what you do relative to that is also very real. And so when you hear me talk about things I'm doing, it's not that I'm being glib or callous, it's just I've been through it before. I know the best way to combat it is my mindset. I've got an abundance mindset. I really don't worry about tomorrow. I focus on today. I do what I can do today to serve others. And so my sole purpose is to serve you, obviously, in business, and yours should be to serve your clients and prospects, okay? So for me going to this wildlife zoo and making a donation like that and having fun, it wasn't just because I'm out in outer space. It's because I choose not to participate in all the negativity. I choose to participate in the abundance mindset of positivity. All right. And it shows up in what actions we take. So back to the webinar, I'm going to give you actions to take tonight. So make sure you're taking notes, guys. Okay. You're going to get the recording. You can replay it. I'm going to give you attachments you're going to get in the email tomorrow from Beverly. All right. So first, back to this. Thank you, Susan, by the way. Shika, check emails. I know that you had a challenge before, so I don't know where they were going but they were being sent to you. I know sometimes the KW email server is a little bit fickle, but maybe give her a different email. Elisa, good to see you. Vincent, I'm doing awesome, buddy. Good to see you too, man. Got to see I told you I was going up to Pittsburgh. I got to see my kids. That was awesome. Matt and Jennifer Shields are with Jennifer. Awesome. Man, look at all this. Looking forward to speak with you. Okay, Louis, you got it. Everybody can see this. Sue says, cool, I'll stay away from the anteater. All right. So, okay, let's go back here. All right, first things first. Most of the campaigns you've seen, I'm going to edit this as we're going through this. I see an email error right there. I created this over the weekend, okay? And I'm going to go through it with you. So if you see me making edits, it's only because it needs just typos and things like that. But I'm going to send this to you in an email. You're going to get this tomorrow from Beverly, okay? And it's an email campaign. So it's not the booklet, it's not the letter, it's not social media. It's none of those things. It's you communicating directly with your clients, okay? So the first thing you do is you got to look at your database, okay? Now, some of you have had this conversation with recently in our one-on-one strategy calls, right? The bottom line is this boy, it all starts with your database. Your contacts are your gold, guys. They're absolute, especially in a time like this. You want to do business with the people who already know you, like you, trust you. All right, start there. Before you know it, we'll be on the upswing here, and you can go out and start getting some cold traffic, okay? But the first thing first is you got to understand your database. Now, there's two ways to go about this. The long way, this is the right way, and the short way that could get you some not so nice responses from people. Let's do the short way first because it's not in the checklist here. Short way is this. You can send an email blast out to all your contacts, okay? Now, some email servers don't like that. Some email server providers don't like it either. They think you're spamming, and they'll call you. Like Betty got a phone call today. And Betty, I'm assuming that was your vendor for your email server. You said vendor. I'm assuming that's who it was. If it was another vendor, just type it and let me know, and I'll correct myself. Now, back to this. So the short way is this. This is what I've been telling people this week based on what's happening in the news, okay, is take something like the booklet, for example. I'm not going to go over the booklet tonight, okay? Maybe we'll do that next week if you guys want to do that. In fact, send me a message right now. Tell me if you want me to go over the booklet in detail next week, and I'll do that next week, okay? Since I just mentioned it, maybe that's a good thing to do because it has its own checklist, everything, start to finish. So if you want to do the booklet, shoot me a message on the chat box, and I'll do that next week, by the way, which is going to be, when is the webinar next week? The 30th. I don't even think they set it up yet. So look for an email coming out on the 30th, okay? About a webinar on the 30th. Now, short way is this, create the booklet, send it to your database. And here's what you do in the message, okay? When you send the email out, don't just send an attachment and say, hey, check out this booklet. Here's what you want to say. Now, this is being recorded, so you're going to get the recording, of course, the very next day. Let me just double check and make sure we are, yes, we are, okay. You're going to attach the booklet to your email. Now, most of you should have already done one by now. If you haven't, just get on it, okay? If you're not sure about it, we'll go over it next week. I see the text, I see the chats coming in. It looks like that's a pretty popular thing to go over next week, so we'll do that. For tonight, though, let's assume you create the booklet. You're going to send it to your database, all contacts, no exclusions, okay? And here's what you say. Tell them, say, you know what? I'm being trained to be a certified investor agent. I'm creating this booklet for investors just like you. And if you're not, I thought about you because I thought you may want to be an investor. Maybe you've thought about investing. Okay, this is what you're saying in your email copy to them, okay? And then ask them this, ask them for a favor. You're going to say, would you please provide your feedback on this booklet? Would you please give me your opinion of this booklet? Of course, the booklet contains, an introductory letter. First a cover sheet, then an introductory letter, then an example of an investment, then sample properties, and then basically a tool to help them analyze the properties, okay? And finally, testimonials. You're going to send this as an attachment. You're going to ask them to give you their feedback on that booklet. Now, here's what's going to happen, guys. Most of them are not going to respond. We're just not, okay? It's okay. We just move past it. The ones that do respond, you're going to get two basic kind of responses, right? One of them is going to say, gee, Louis, Tanya, I didn't know you did this. I just thought you help people buy and sell their own homes. I didn't realize you work with investors too. I am an investor, or I would like to invest, and I don't want to put my money in the stock market. I just lost a third of it, but I want to start. How do we get started doing this, Tanya? Okay. Well, that's your low-hanging fruit. By the way, with this type of campaign, you know what we call it? Shaking the tree. You're shaking the tree and looking for the juicy ripe oranges to fall down, okay? Susan, how'd you like that little euphemism right there? By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, the citrus business in South Florida has hit the skids when there was a disease that basically tortured the crops. So most of the oranges around here now are coming from North Florida, Central Florida, or California. Grapefruits, anything citrus, it's not been fun. But in any case, back to this. You're looking for the low-hanging fruit. And guys, don't be surprised if you actually get 1 or 2 transactions out of this, which would be really nice right now, okay? Now, another group, and those people, that's your now business, ready, willing, able now. You still want to interview them, screen them, do everything. I'm going to go over that in a minute. Let's go back to the responses. Now, the other responses would be, same thing. Gee, I didn't know you did that, Louis. I thought you just helped people buy and sell their own homes. I'm interested, but I've never done it before. How do I start? What do we do? How do we get started? Well, those people you put on a nurturing campaign, and I'm going to give you some of that tonight. How do you what content do you give them to nurture them? I'm going to give you that tonight, okay? So everybody just take a deep breath. I'm not only going to tell you what to do, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm actually going to give you what you need to do it, okay? So that's what I'm telling you. Just take a deep breath and relax. This is going to help you a lot, and it's important to me that you do this, okay? So your success is my success, right? Now, everybody else, just don't worry about them. Let them go. Chances are maybe you should eliminate them from your database anyways, okay? The people you're going to nurture, you do want to set up a call with them, but make sure you use a different campaign, again, which I'll give you here in a little bit. Now, that's idea number 1, or approach number 1, excuse me, not idea, but approach. Approach number 2 is you do what's documented right here in the number 2 section. And what you do is this, you actually go through your database. It's an intuitive process, all right? I've gone over this with many people already, so please bear with me if you've seen this before. What you do is normally I tell you to take 1 letter per day, like tonight you would do the A's, tomorrow you do the B's, so forth and so on. In today's environment, I would do all these like tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, get through the entire database. Don't wait. And what you do is you go through each contact record and you ask these questions. Number 1 is, how do you know them? How did you meet them? What do you remember about them? Okay. So number 1 is how do you know them? How did you meet them? It's kind of like a combined question. Number 2 is, what do you remember about them? And number 3 is, how likely are they to be interested in investing? Okay. Now that's what I mean by this is an intuitive process. And what you're doing is you're triggering what's called your recall function inside your brain, right? Your memory is actually made up of 2 parts. Storage, number 1, retrieval, number 2, right? Sorry, I did the other way. Storage, number 1, retrieval, number 2. The storage is intact unless you struggle with some type of physiological ailment in your brain. Your storage is 100% intact. Everything you've ever tasted, smelled, seen, heard, touched, felt, emotionally thought about, imagined, daydream, whatever, it's all in there. Every bit, it's all in there, intact. The trick is how do you recall it? And the memory works in layers, okay? And what you do, when you ask these questions, how do you remember them? Or how did you meet them? How do you know them? What do you remember about them? And are they likely to be interested in investing? It goes into the second layer of your memory, and you start to think, you start to recall things. When maybe you're on a last listing appointment with them last year, you saw a Robert Kiyosaki book on their tabletop, on Rich Dad Poor Dad, something like that. Well, that person's probably interested in investing, okay? In any case, what you're going to do is to categorize these clients or these prospects on a scale of from 1 to 10, 1 being not likely to want to invest, 10 being highly likely to want to invest. This is what I mean by intuitive. You're basically using your intuition to determine how likely they are to want to invest. And what you do is you simply send this booklet out to the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Don't send it to the 1s, 2s, and 3s because they're least likely to be interested in investing. So some of you are thinking, why wouldn't I do the broadcast effort? Because then I'll get everybody to respond. Well, not everybody does respond, number one. Number two is you're going to be hitting your entire database, and some of them have no interest in what you have to say, okay? But when you target your marketing, when you align your message with the market, you're speaking investor terminology with people who are interested in investing, you get a much higher open rate, much higher response rate, and much easier conversion rate. So that's why we like to do this targeted marketing. This is another form of targeted marketing. You're just using people who are already on your database, okay? Now, if you do the broadcast method, number one is you could be accused of spam. And you don't want too many people hitting that button and telling their server that you sent them some spam. You could be a painful process to go through, okay? And if you have too many, non-deliverables, by the way, here's one good reason to do a broadcast campaign, is everybody whose email could not be delivered because the email is no longer good, delete them from your database, okay? Because you don't want to get too many of those responses. Your email service provider could shut you down, right? But in any case, pros and cons of doing both. I'd say if you're in a hurry, do option A, which is send it to everybody. If you want to take the time and be more targeted, use option B, okay? Now, so we got through that part. Let's assume you did part B. All right, number 3 is, this is what you say in your email. This is just a little short written version of what I gave you a moment ago. Hey, I'm working with Gary Wilson in my business services. Now we call it Real Estate with Gary Wilson. That's pretty new. Real Estate with Gary Wilson. Or if you just want to say my name, but don't do anything more than that. The purpose of this is not to edify me, it's to edify you, okay? Whenever you associate you with someone else who they perceive as being an expert in, it lifts you up in their mind. Does that make sense, guys? So in other words, you're referencing me. They might not know who I am, okay? But the fact that you're saying I'm working with Gary Wilson, in real estate with Gary Wilson, and let's call it the team. Oops, and Wilson team, okay? And being trained to be a certified investor agent, okay? That means something. They might even know what it means, but it lifts you up in their mind, okay? Then you say this, I thought of you during the coursework and believe you may find this interesting. Have you ever wanted to, and you fill in the blank, flip a home, buy a rental, wholesale, you put that in there, okay? And here's your, and you want to say it in terms of positivity. Don't just say flip them, say flip a house and earn a big paycheck. Own rentals, earning you passive income for life. Making money in real estate without needing money or even owning property through wholesaling, okay? Let me put that in there. Through wholesaling, okay? So in any case, you put something in there like that, and this is what's going to generate more responses for you, okay? Now, if you don't have an idea of what they may be more interested in, flipping, buying rentals, or wholesaling, you can send them the links to the books to all 3. And here's the links right here. I'm giving you the exact link to send them, to put this is what you put in your email, okay? So I'm giving you everything that you need to put in this email campaign, including the content, all right? And now they're going to associate you with giving them a free resource, free information. Nobody's getting paid for this. Nobody's getting charged for this. We're literally giving you those books to give to your clients for free, okay? I mean, this is what you do when you live coming from abundance, okay? In any case, let me do a quick pause here. And let me check the chat messages. I see we got about 10 of them now. All right. Okay, let's see. Euphemism works for me, metaphor, I mean. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Susan. Okay, let's go back here. What about bulk texting with a link to the information? So generally, you can do bulk texting. I use a tool called, shoot, what's it called? In any case, I pay for a texting service. Okay, it's a license that I have that allows me to send out bulk text messages. Okay, you can pay for a service like that, but just know this, Jamie Lou. There are strict rules about texting, just like there are about calling people on the phone and emailing. So if you don't know what those rules are and you don't follow them, you could be in trouble. So if you notice on the Real Estate with Gary Wilson website, whenever you signed up for anything, first thing they did was they asked you for permission to send you text messages. And we don't, by the way, we don't send text messages to people to sell anything. It's basically just simply to communicate and stay in touch. That's how we use texting. Yes, there could be bulk text messages, but they're service oriented. They're not sales oriented. If you do a lot of sales stuff on text messages, you'll find yourself getting not responded to at the least. So Jamie, I'm not trying to talk out of it. I just want you to be think about this. You can't really say a whole lot in a text message. So what I like to do is use emails to give like the message I just gave you. So what you could do, Jamie Lou, is a combined effort. Say, hey, haven't seen you for a while. This is me giving you a sample script in the text. Hey, haven't seen you for a while. I just sent you an email from me, Jamilu Tunu at kw.com, whatever. All right. Then they know to look for that email. And if they don't see it, they'll go to spam. So that's one way to use text. You could see also, and there's something short like, I think is relevant for what you're going through right now. Okay. In Jamilu, if you notice, I used the word you. Okay. I didn't make a plural or what we're all going through or what everybody's going through. I said what you're going through. This you speaking to them. Okay. And remember this, whenever you send something directly to somebody, make sure you use the words you or your early and often, okay? So in any case, great question. Let's see, is the website the same given you've changed your corporate name? Yeah, actually underneath, Lori, it's the same exact website. They just changed the front end for branding purposes. Somebody did some research somewhere and said, my name's getting a lot of searches out there, and so is the term real estate. So they said, combine real estate with Gary Wilson. And that phrase is what they came up with, real estate with Gary Wilson. The word with actually happens to be a highly searchable term. Okay, so now there's higher SEO results. How about that? Okay, let's see, website, yes, but underneath Louis, same exact website. This is from Jamilu. We have access through command with Twilio. Okay, excellent, that's good. And how about using Yins? Jennifer Shields. You can do that, Jennifer. By the way, Vince is cracking up because he's from Pittsburgh. And if you're from Western Pennsylvania or Northeastern West Virginia, okay, you're gonna hit a lot of yins and urins out that, right? Or yeah, Vince is saying inat, hey, all you guys, let's go down to the bar in that, right? I didn't even say it right, Vince, the bar in that. In any case, those are Western Pennsylvania euphemisms. Unlike in the South where we say y'all and all y'all, all right? So in any case, back to this. Let me go back to the presentation here. All right, now, you wanna have some follow-up, guys. So the initial thing is this, you're gonna send them something free. Send them a booklet to get engagement going on. That's step number, let me go back up here, hang on one second. Step number one is, step number one is make sure you know what your goals are. So if you have a 200 contact database, maybe you're in this initial campaign looking to get 2 transactions, okay? That's 1%. 2 transactions, and maybe say 8, let's say 8 nurturing campaigns going, eight campaigns. In other words, 8 other people want to, like they're motivated, they're inspired, but they're not ready, willing, and able. You got to nurture them. Let's say you put 8 people in a nurturing campaign out of 200, and you get people, 2 people converted to buy or sell something now. Okay, that's essentially that's a 5% response / conversion rate, which ain't too shabby. Okay, so in any case, back to this, and you'll probably get more than that, quite frankly. So this, and you want to send them the data. I would send them the booklet. Send the booklet in there to them. Okay, this is you creating the booklet with samples of flips, rentals, whatever. All right, get that out there. Okay, And then also send them, and then, by the way, this part here, step 4, or step 3, excuse me, you could actually make a separate step here. You don't have to, if you send them the booklet guys in the first contact, do not send these free books. You only want to do one or the other, okay? So this right here, where you're going to send out a free book on flipping or buying rentals or wholesaling, you can either do that in lieu of the booklet or do this as a follow-up to the booklet. Now, my preference is this. This would be a follow-up to the booklet, because you send the booklet out, they get engagement, and when people engage with you, you can send them the free books. Now, what you can also do is make this a separate attempt. Let's say the first attempt got you some contacts, but you want more. You could do a follow-up email sequence saying, you know what, I didn't get anything back the first time around. That's okay, I understand you're busy. Here's a book you can read for free just on flipping or just on rentals or just on wholesaling. And make that a second email sequence to the mass, to your entire database. That's what I would recommend. Now, let's say either way you get responses, okay? The next step is this, is you're gonna, remember you got 2 people perhaps you're gonna be closing fairly soon. They're gonna be buying or selling something. The other 8 we gave in the example, this is what you do with them. You, number 1, should log in and subscribe to the YouTube channel. They haven't converted that yet to Real Estate with Gary Wilson. They still got it as My Investment Services, okay? Go ahead and subscribe to that, okay? Now you can send them the links for the playlist. There's probably, I don't know, a dozen, maybe 6 or 10 different playlists out there. But the point is this, for each of those subjects, flipping, buying rentals, managing rentals, wholesaling, investor agent, have their own separate playlist, okay? Now, what I would do is this, I would introduce them in a follow-up sequence. This is in your nurturing campaign with the 8 or so people that are not ready to buy or sell now, but they want to do it. You got to nurture them. This is part of that nurturing sequence. So what I would do is this. Initially, I'd send them, hey, here's the playlist, all right, for videos on flipping a home. There's probably 12 or 14 videos on flipping a home. And then what I would do is I would set up your emails just to those same 8 people. One email at least once a week, if not twice a week, like once every 3 or 4 days, giving them the individual links for the individual videos. That's a better campaign. You call it a drip. Drip, 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 drip. After 12 contacts, and then opening up these YouTube videos to watch them, chances are they're going to, by the way, they're sequenced in the exact order you need them to have to be sequenced in, okay? And then what you can say is, then make an offer. Say, look, you know, we should probably have a conversation about this, and let's see if we can get you screened, interviewed, screened, and qualified, okay? I'll go to that in a minute, but first things first, here's all the playlist on flipping a home, buying rentals, wholesaling, okay? And then, let me just go through this. I'm gonna take my time, I'm sorry, I'm going through this too fast. See right here where it says flipping use for playlists, right? For flipping use this playlist. The playlist is first link, okay? Once they've seen all the videos, all right? I think there's 12 or 14. Let me just go there. Let's just go there. What the heck? We're talking about it. We might as well go there. All right, so YouTube, all right? Let me go backwards here. Hang on one second. YouTube. There it is, My Investment Services. Okay, so I'm bringing this up. Let me do a screen share. Oops, where'd my screen share go? We got screen, new share, YouTube. Okay, now you should all see My Investment Services channel, all right? And you'll see there's all kinds of playlists, all right? Let's click on playlist. I'll do this right now, right in front of you. All right, you see all these playlists, okay? Let's just do this. Let's look at rental profits. There's 9 videos. All right, so you click on that playlist. All right, view full playlist. Let's click on that. Here's all the short little videos on buying rentals. And they are in the order that you need them to be in. So back to the checklist, okay? Going back here, let me do a reshare on that. Make sure you got it, okay? This link right here, it says playlist. That's all 9 of those videos. I would suggest you give them to them one at a time, every 3 or 4 days, or minimum once a week, okay? Once they see them all, then send them this video, okay? And what this does is this describes for them how they can actually learn how to flip the right way. And by the way, if they actually do decide to take the training program, you get paid for that, okay? Don't count on this income as we can live off of it, but we call it residual income. I get thousands of dollars every month just because I associate with other people. I literally don't lift a finger, okay? And you can do the same thing by doing that. So it's a little bit of a side benefit for you. The main thing is through doing this, guys, you'll now have your prospects and clients trained to invest the same way you're being trained to work with them. So it's like you got a co-symbiotic relationship, okay? And it helps me help you, basically, which is what this is all about. So in any case, once you've done your nurturing with them, send them these video, the I one, A.I, B.I, C.I, okay? You're basically making them an offer. So same thing you should be doing in any marketing campaign. Once you've gone through the steps, you want to make an offer, okay? Now, let's assume that they do email you back or they call you, okay, or both. You want to screen them, okay? You don't just work for somebody because they call you. They might not be ready yet. So remember this, here's the 5 things you need. Timing, motivation, readiness, willingness, ability, okay? So timing is throughout now the time, and you'll know that through readiness, ability, okay? Motivation is if they called you or emailed you, they're probably motivated, okay? Willingness, again, if they called you or emailed you responding to your email campaign, they're probably willing, they're motivated and willing. And possibly timing is right too. We won't know until we do the qualification, which is screening or qualifying. That part is in your old module 2 of Investor Agent, okay? Old module 2. Now, it's in there, it's a 12-step process. How do you work with flippers? How do you work with landlords? It's the same steps working with wholesalers too. In fact, let me show you the new format. Let me just go there, all right? So let's go to the new format of the training material. Real estate with Gary Wilson. I'm going to log into members area. Oh, by the way, real quick, let me go back here. I'm going to do screen share. Hang on one second. Screen share. All right. These little 5 books right here, guys, these are called little mini ebooks. You can also start with that. There's not much content in there. It's just like basically a 5 or 10 pager just to get them engaged. And when they're engaged, then they want more. And then you can give them the YouTube videos, give them the links that are in your checklist that you're going to be getting that I'm going over tonight, okay? That's just one little sidebar there. Let me go back to members area. So I'm going to click on that. Now, obviously, oh, by the way, if you and your clients, you know, if your membership's expired, you're still on here, chances are you're still a member. But your clients can get on here and try it for free. It's 30 days for free, okay? Back to this. We're all active members, so I'm just going to click here. I'm going to log in real quick, and I'm going to show you the new layout of the Investor Agent Training Program. So go to my dashboard, okay? And here it is right here. You can see I've got active Investor Agent flipping and buying rentals. Let's click on, this is my library. I'm a participant just like you. I'm a product of the product, guys. So I went through the pilot program. Can you believe it's going to be 6 years ago this summer? Unbelievable. So in any case, check this out. It's now 10 modules long. Module 1 is different for US and Canada, right? Module 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 bonuses. You'll see down here, each module now has its own separate, unique downloads. This is a video for you to watch relative to the module. And that video, by the way, just happens to be on YouTube, okay? So back to this. Let's just go to, let's see what module 5 is. I think module 5 is where I want to go. So content on how to actually work with the investors. Let's go to module 6 because that's the links for the government sources, okay? So in here, cash flow worksheet, module 6, the 12-step process on working with those people, landlords buying rentals is in here. You get 3 videos that support the content, okay? And here's the downloads. Here's the module PDF. Let's download that, okay? And then look, you get the cash flow. You get all the calculators that go with this module. All right, so let's click on Module 6 PDF. And in here, you will see the 12-step process right there on how you work with landlords, okay? So that's module 6, is that right? Is that where it was? Yeah, module 7 should be the one on flippers. Let's go to flippers. And maybe it's not, let's see here. Let's go to module 8. Maybe that's, no, module 7 should be flippers. Maybe not, let's find out here. Might be module, no, I think it's module 5. Let's go back to module 5, click on the PDF, and there it is. Yeah, this will be the one for flippers. Module 5 is how you work with flippers. There's the 12-step process right there. And module 6 is how you work with the landlords buying rentals. Okay, now, if you have not been on the new platform, go to the new platform because it's easier. This learning is easier than the old platform. The old 5-module platform has been dramatically improved, okay? It not only breaks it down into finer, shorter sequences, but you get all this supporting video support, little 5-minute videos explaining specific nuggets, the actual tools you need specifically for that module. It's much, much better, okay? So in any case, back to this, okay? Let's go back to the webinar, back to the checklist. Let's do another screen share. And there you are. Okay, that paragraph 6 there is what I just showed you on the new learning management system, all right? All right, now, always do this, guys, and I've seen some chats. I'll get to them in a second. You're going to get these folks on the phone. You're going to go through what I just showed you in modules 5 or 6, depending on whether they're flippers or landlords buying rentals, okay? And you're looking to, once you've built rapport, I'm going to ad-lib here, kind of summarize this. You always want to qualify them. You need to ask them, what do they have in savings? Do they have an available line of credit? Do they know what their credit score is? These are questions you ask them to qualify them. You're not qualifying them like a banker would qualify them. You're qualifying them to know if you should be working with them now or later, okay? You're determining timing with this. Now is work with them now. That's where you make your money. Later means you nurture them to what I showed you in the previous step, okay? Now, always ask every person you ever talk to. I learned this, and it's a great habit. I do this today. I do this with you, actually. Okay, is after every conversation, ask them to send you a recap to you with an email with a recap of the conversation. Okay, number one, it allows you to stay in sync with them. You have a record of the conversations, and it's easier for you and they to stay in sync with each other. But also, in this case, it helps you determine what we call commitment. Okay, remember, we're always looking for these 3 things: engagement, action, and commitment. Engagement is they responded to you. They responded to your marketing. Commitment is they're going to say, well, I want to start now. How do we do this? Well, that's the interview you just had. That shows commitment. The next step in commitment is this, action step is this. When they send you an email back, you know you got yourself someone who's engaged with you, committed to work with you, and is willing to take action because you asked them to take action, all right? I'm constantly asking you guys to take action. You're not even aware of it sometimes, okay? But when I ask you to send an email to me recapping a conversation, it's all about you taking action. That's why we do it. Now you're doing this with your clients and prospects. Ask them to send you an email back. If they don't, maybe you follow up, maybe you don't. In the old days, I would follow up and try to get them to take action. Nowadays, I don't do that, guys, all right? People, you can't make people want something. You can want it more than them, but they got to want it at some level, because if they don't take action, they're not going to get results, okay? So I'm just kind of being brutally honest here. Some of you have been around long enough, you know that I like to think one of the nicest guys you could ever work with, number one. But number two is I run short on patience sometimes, and it's all about action. When you don't take action, I got to work with people taking action, right? So if you want to work with me, you got to take action, okay? Let's get back to nice Gary. So back to this. You're looking for engagement, commitment, and action, okay? When they send you the email back, those are the folks you want to work with. That's your money. That's where you're going to make your money, okay? And now you got yourself a client, and right there says step 11, get out there and you take action now. Okay, you go to work for them. And in the 12-step process, you'll see you should send them your contract, agency agreement to work with them, okay? And then you start working with them. Now you use like the letter campaign to go out there and get them some properties, okay? Woo, that was a lot. Okay, let me check the questions here. Now's the time to ask questions, guys. This was gonna be a short webinar because it's very specific and very focused. And I want you guys to commit to me. I want you to email me, chat, send that chat message back to me. All right, and show me how committed you are. Show me you're an action taker. And do this. Create that darn booklet and get it out to them. Okay. You know, this is I'm being brutally serious here because this is serious business. This is not a dress rehearsal. It's a real thing, and we have a tremendous opportunity, you and I, for you to be the heroes for your clients and your prospects. And I'm setting you up to do this. I'm literally giving you everything you need, step by step. I need you to take the action, okay? I'm not the hero, you're the hero, okay? You be the hero, you be the shining example, all right? You know, let me help you become the hero by doing these things. Next week, we'll go over the booklet in detail if you want. The week after that, we'll go over the letter in detail if you want. And the week after that, we'll go over the workshop in detail if you want. Maybe by then, that'll be Easter, is that right? That'll be the week before Easter. How about that? Maybe that's the time we talk about the workshop. In fact, I think it will be the time. Let's do that in that order. Next week, we'll go over the booklet in detail. The week after that, the letter, how you get the inventory. And the week before Easter, we'll go over how to actually do the live workshop. Because I think by then, people will be really ready, willing, and able to come see you in person, okay? In any case, what contract do you send? This is from Betty. So Betty, you want to send them your board's agency agreement. Typically, it's called a buyer's agency agreement. We used to call it a BAC form, buyer's agency contract, okay? If you're getting a listing, obviously that's a listing contract. But right now, you just want to get them to agree to work with you. And the ones you want to work with will agree to work with you, all right? Because based on you giving them real content, real information, real inventory, real tools, okay? Let's see. Jamie Lou says, this is much better. Thank you for the improvement. Jamie Lou, I wish I could have given you that back in December, darling. I swear, we had it. I had it back in, I did my part back in November, and I think we had all the other parts in December, but because of all the workload, the restraints, it's like, I mean, we just get behind, you know, and we had so many other things to work on. And I finally, last week, I mean, Beverly will tell you, I kind of threw down the hammer, guys. I mean, they'll tell you I'm a pretty good guy to work with usually, but when sometimes, you know what, when you ever owned a business before, you're going to know this. You got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. You got to take action. You don't always get it right, okay? But it's always better to be decisive and take action. You can clean up the mess later. To realize if you don't do that, if you have the wait and see approach, you're going to die in business. I don't mean physically your body. I mean, you in business is going to die. You cannot be, I'm going to wait and see what happens kind of person in this business. You got to get out there and take action like now, today, okay? Do these things. I promise you, you're going to have success. This is exactly what I did. Each of you watches. People always ask, how the heck did I do what I did? I mean, the business I had grew literally six-fold in the first 3 years of that big recession. It doubled 3 years in a row, okay? I was doing over 100 transactions a year routinely, at first without any assistance, by the way. Then I built a brokerage company, and the business literally doubled. 256 some odd transactions, then 500 something transactions. In the third year, I was put up on a stage because I personally made, not just the company, me personally made 793,000 GCI in a market where the average commission was 150. I'm sorry, the average sales price was 115,000. I'm just telling you this because, man, if you knew my background, if I can do, I know it sounds like a cliche, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm telling you, you can do it. You don't have to figure this stuff out because I'm giving it to you, okay? Jamalu says, thank you for taking action, Gary. You're welcome, Jamalu. So, hey guys, if you got questions, I'm gonna keep preaching to you if you let me. But I'd say right now is a good time to ask questions. Okay, this is Louis. All right, this is from Gary Keller. As Gary Keller said, COVID-19 will be the impetus to launch the recession that has been looming. From our previous experience with recessions, what's the mentality and objections of the investors And in this case, how would you calm their fear of infection? I am proposing a virtual system to deal with it. Okay, this is perfect, guys. If you saw the broadcast on Monday, was that? Yeah, it was Monday, and I was on the whole time. You know, at the very end, he said it perfectly. Last 20 minutes or so, he said, now's the time to double down on your training, your education, your mentoring, your coaching. Just take advantage of me. Use me till I don't breathe anymore, okay? I'm telling you, this is all I do, all right? And I'm here for you, so you help me help you. The other thing too is this. In the last recession, guys, these are the facts. Half the agents left the business, half of them gone, poof. But you know, volume only dropped 25%. Okay, what that means is the remaining 50% of the agents now got 75% of the business. And what do you think made up a vast majority of that 75% of the business? It was these investor transactions, okay? Now here's the cool part. Half your transactions won't even be on the MLS, okay? Just know that. You're gonna be doing this, like getting the inventory going under the radar screen, matching these people up. You're gonna be a true broker, matching supply and demand, buyer and seller, and you get both sides, okay? All right, this is Jamilu. What module is the best so I can learn how to find the properties and feel like this is holding me back? So Jamilu, that's actually part of the new module 2. And let me go back there real quick. All right. Let me go back here to module 2. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Module 2. Finding agents who flips and rentals with different buying markets, where to buy rentals. So module 2, Jamilu, and I think module 3, let's go there. Nah, forget module 3, let's go to module 4. Investor agent tips, how do you find inventory? There you go, module 4, module 2, module 4. Okay, Jamilu. Now, here's the thing, Jamilu. I think I sent you, oops, let me do screen share again, guys. Sorry about that. Screen share. Back there. So Jamilu, let me check my email. I don't have my email up, doggone it. Jamilu, check your email for me. Going back, let me just bring it up. Okay. I tell you what. Here's where it is. Let me go back to the checklist. All right. Everybody listening, write this down. You got an email earlier today from Beverly saying, please watch this video from me, Gary, okay? And in there, she gave you a link to click on. In that link, it gives you step-by-step instructions for the booklet, for the letter, for the workshop, okay? With a brief introduction for me. So in there, Jamilu, you get the specific instructions on how to actually do the letter to get the inventory. The checklist, the letter itself in Word format, and the recorded webinar, how it explains how to actually do the letter campaign, and the written transcription, the written version of that webinar. It's all in there. So guys, you all got the email today. Just look for that email, and that specific instructions are in there. Now, I've been excited here, so let me slow things down. Next week, we'll go over the booklet in detail. The week after, we'll do the letter in detail. But right now, you don't have to wait till 2 weeks to learn how to do the letter. You can do the letter tomorrow if you wanted to. Get the link that Beverly sent you, download those things, and just follow the instructions, okay? Okay, guys, I think that's it. The number one thing to remember here is this. You do have to have faith, and you gotta take action. I'm excited about this, because not just because I've been through it before and how to get through it, because I know what it meant for me early on. It meant success, okay? I just looked at the situation and realized, you know what, there's one thing these people need, and they need a place to put their money. I mean, my gosh, my poor 83-year-old dad, I'm not going to be able to see him next weekend on his 83rd birthday because of the new rules. I can't even go see my own dad, but I get it. It's for a good reason. We want him to live. He's pretty well off, but he's lost a third of his wealth in a week. He's lost a third of his wealth. He doesn't want to invest in real estate. He's 83 years old. Okay, but for everybody who's 73, 63, 53, 43, 33, 23, they're all looking to you and I to help them figure out what properties they invest in. We have a job to do. I say, let's get out there and freaking do it, okay? So I want every one of you to send me an email, by the way, telling me what you're going to do starting tomorrow. Actually, send it tonight. Tell me what you're going to do starting tonight. All right. I couldn't be any more serious. This is your opportunity to shine. You've now got the content, you've got the know-how, the what, the how, the details, the everything you need. Okay. Or so back to Betty. Betty says, after sending the booklet to my database, should I send the booklet to professionals per mail? Betty, hold off on that. Let you and me talk one more time. I might have you do the letter campaign next, and keep working with the contacts from your database. You should get some contacts within the next day or so. Okay. Some return contacts, right? Now, if you don't, just go to cold traffic, and that would be your professionals. However, you're going to have to start giving them some inventory. So I want you to start doing the letter campaign, okay? So keep an eye out for that. And the notification from Beverly about that webinar. All right, guys, a couple more things here before I wrap this up. All those silver level resources, by the way, the YouTube videos, they're also on, that's not on silver level, but on the silver level, you got the blogs, you got the podcast. You can send those to your clients, and you should. Okay, some of you have actually interviewed, and I can interview too. If you guys are to be on my podcast, I sent an email out probably last month or so. I don't know when it was, Louis. You probably remember. But you could be on the podcast, all right? And we'll mention you. It goes out to nearly almost 50 countries now, and it's on like 30 some odd different platforms. Well, now those people will hear about you in Miami and Sarasota, in Orlando and Tampa, in LA, in New York and Toronto, okay? And I'll drive them to you, but you got to be on the podcast, okay? I think, Louis, you did that, by the way. Also, all those forms and calculators, here, let me just go back there real quick. Instead of rushing through this, let me just go back there. All right, so let me go backwards one more. Hopefully this will let me go back to my server level. Let me go back up here real quick, see if that does it. I'm almost there, guys. Hang on to your seats. There it is, server level. Let me do a screen share on this. Hang on one second. Share. Share and share. Okay, so now you're on the server level homepage. You got to click on server level to get there. All right, if you go down here to forms and calculators, okay, check this out. They're all on here. You just click on these things and download them. They're Word docs, they're Excel spreadsheets, Canadian links, right? That's calculators and spreadsheets you can give to your clients, okay? Now let's go, and you can brand them to be your own, by the way. Put your name and email on there, not mine. Put your name and email and phone number on there. Now, website resources. This is one of the coolest things of all right? Look at all these links, right? They give you instructions on, they give you the link for them, tells you what they are, okay? All these investor agent links that you can be using for your own business, flipping, rentals, property management, wholesaling. Here's all the Canadian links. Look at that. And many of these are from Louis Reset. Everybody should give Louis Reset a huge pat on the back, guys, because he helps you a lot. He helps me help you a lot. Foreclosures, court records, all this stuff in Canada you have access to, right? That's all for you, not just for yourself, but for you to share with your clients, okay? In any case, so I just want to go over that with you briefly so you can see what you should be sharing with your clients. Now, back to this. I think that's pretty much it. I gave you a lot of stuff tonight. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want you to give me a commitment, send me a message, send me an email, telling me what you're doing starting tonight, okay? And help me make you a hero, all right? For your clients and your prospects and for your families too. They're counting on you to make money, all right? Let's get busy. And by the way, I want to end this with a positive note. Just like I said in the video earlier, you weren't born with a spirit of fear. You were born with a spirit of strength, okay? We live in an abundant world. Aside from all that's happening with people getting sick, I get that. Just look outside. My gosh, I'm out here in Miami Beach. I've got the sand, the water, the sky, birds, fish. I mean, all this amazing stuff. And I know you're probably thinking, well, Gary, I'm not there. I'm in I'm in Arkansas, wherever, I get it. By the way, I'll be in Arkansas next month. Wherever you are, there's good things about it. Just appreciate it. Wake up and just say, thank you, God, for what I've got today. Okay. You can't go wrong with being present in the moment, because that's where the power is. Okay. And that's where you find your spirit of strength. See, courage comes from within. Okay. So spend time every morning. If you're not a praying person, start praying. Pray to yourself. Okay. How about that? But start there. And, I promise you, things will happen in your day, guys. Things will come along. People will say the right things. It's just, I don't know how these miracles occur. I don't even question them. I just thank God every day for them, because they happen, right? And when you have faith and you live in faith, you will see these things too. So have faith and take action. That's the 2 words to remember for tonight. Have faith, take action. That's 4 words, okay? Have faith and take action, and I will see you next week. Reach out to me. Let me know when you need me for help. I'm here for you. You got my number, you got my email. Let's keep this train rolling, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.